Keep it going for your next comic. Give it up. It's Nathan Ehrmann. Go. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you're enjoying yourselves. That's great. I'm getting a little bit older. I'm trying to do some healthier stuff. I wanted to fix up this body of mine, so I went to the supplement store, to get some pills and powders and whatnot. And when you're a man and you walk into the supplement store, they have to dispatch a man to come talk to you. Usually his name's Chet. He's wearing a weightlifting belt for no reason. And he has to come show you the wares. And for some reason, if you want to market supplements to men, they all have to be named after weapons. I don't know why it's for your pre-workout, we've got C4. For your post-workout, we've got intercontinental ballistic missile. And for your rest day, we've got Trump tweet. And it's why do they have to be dangerous things? Why can't I just be peaceful and healthy? I don't know. But the funny thing to me is that whoever's naming these supplements and whoever's naming the flavors, they don't even work in the same building, Chet's for leg day, we've got Dagger. It comes in 2 flavors, birthday cake and oops, all berries. And it's what? But I can get down on some Captain Crunch if I need to. I don't know, yeah. I did have a bit of a setback in my journey to health recently. I threw out my back. That wasn't a fun experience. I was in the gym, hold your applause, and I bent over to pick up a bottle of water. And immediately I had this feeling in my back, if Siri was back there, she'd be I don't know what you're saying right now, Nathan. And I just cried out in pain and fell to the floor. And I laid there for 18 minutes. I counted. And if you ever want to lose faith in humanity, just injure yourself in public, because nobody cared at all. No. Have you ever seen a National Geographic documentary where the wildebeests are crossing the river and one of them just gets snatched up by a crocodile and the rest of them are unsubscribe? They just keep going. I was laying there on the floor for 18 minutes and people were well, it's the circle of life. It moves us all. I don't know. Yeah. 2017 wasn't a good year for my health. I lost a tooth. Well, I didn't lose it. It was taken from me by a professional, My teeth growing up, they've been a rowdy bunch. They've all gotten yellow cards at one point. I didn't think one was going to get kicked out of the game, but that's how it happens, When you're a kid, the tooth fairy is a friendly pixie. Flies into your window, reaches under your pillow, pulls out a tooth, puts $1 under there, maybe 2 if it's a molar, But when you're 31 years old, the tooth fairy is a soft-spoken Asian man with a table full of nightmare tools. And when he's done, he reaches under your pillow and pulls out $700. Not a fun experience. Yeah, I was in the chair waiting to get my extraction, and the dentist walks in and immediately stumbles on something and says, "Oh, I'm such a klutz." You lose that phrase when you get a medical degree. We take that away from you, okay? You can't say I'm such a klutz. You can't say I'm so forgetful. You can't say I'm such a Samantha. I'm not going to explain that one, but she would be a bad doctor, okay? And he goes in there for my tooth. It's not a ginger procedure getting your tooth taken out. It's one step above home improvement. He's in there with a pair of pliers. He's wiggling around. And he says, not to me, but into my mouth, "Oh, she's a fighter." And while I'm sitting there wondering why this man gendered my tooth, he puts both hands on the pliers and he squeezes, and a sound comes out of my mouth. It's the sound of a boot stepping on a pistachio. And then he makes eye contact with me and says, "But I'm a fighter too." And that's where dentistry meets therapy, guys, because that's the best cry I've had ever in my whole life. But I might have settled for a Samantha. I don't know. Yeah. Growing up, I grew up in the early 2000s, and I had the unique joy of knowing the latter-day poet laureate known as Lil Jon. And Little John introduced this item into our culture known as the pimp cup. And it combined two of my favorite things, rap music and arts and crafts. It was like you would go and you would get a chalice and then you would take it to a nearby Michael's. You'd get a bunch of rhinestones and all kinds of decorations, and then you would decorate it so that hopefully if Indiana Jones found this cup, he would say, "This is the cup of a pimp." Yes. And I hoped that one day in my life I would be worthy of my own pimp cup. And then fast forward 2 decades, and someone says the term diva cup, and immediately what comes out of my mouth is, "Oh hell yeah, ladies is pimps too. Go on, brush your shoulders off." And now I'm not allowed at brunch anymore. Thanks very much, guys. Nathan Ehrmann, everyone. Keep it going.